friends, welcome to Sahastek. Welcome to the third video. I'm Rajesh Ranjan. Till now we have learned about fundamentals of Oracle database. In this section we have already understood the concept of database and RDBMS. We have also understood the basic architecture of Oracle database. So we know that how Oracle works and how it is performing the RDBMS things. In this video, we are going to learn about how to install the Oracle database on a Windows machine. So first of all, we should understand that Oracle database can only be installed either on Windows or a Linux or Unix machine. It cannot be installed on a Mac machine. And this is the Oracle server, Oracle database server. And this is the Oracle database server. We can install instant client of Oracle on the Mac machine. We can also install SQL developer on the Mac machine. So what we can do is we can install SQL developer on Mac machine and connect to the Oracle database server. So database server can be installed only on Windows or the Linux server. So here in our session, in our videos, we will be installing Oracle database server onto Windows machine, and we will install SQL Developer on Mac machine, and then we will be using Mac machine to connect with the Oracle database and do our programmings. So Oracle 19c installation. So in this video, we are going to tell about the Oracle 19c database installation. This is as of now the latest version of Oracle, and it can be installed in 3 steps. First step is we need to download and extract Oracle 19c database for Windows. So it can be downloaded from Oracle website directly. It is free of cost. And then we can install that extracted Oracle 19c database that was downloaded from Oracle. So we will install that onto the Windows, and then we will create one user and we'll start working on that. So in these 3 steps, we will be installing the whole database and we will make it working. Okay, so see you next in the installation. So here we will learn how to install the Oracle 19c. So first of all, we have to open the browser and download the Oracle database. Okay, so I will share the link in the description for installing the database. So we are opening here the Oracle portal. Okay, so we need to go on to this link. Here it opened the database downloadable softwares. So we can see here there are a lot of options to download the Oracle. So what we are going to download is Microsoft Windows database for the Microsoft Windows. So you can see here there are a lot of options. We can also install Oracle XE database. So XE is for Express Edition that can be used on the standalone machine. But what we are trying to do is we want to download the Oracle 19c complete database. So this is the zip file that needs to be downloaded. This is 2.9 GB in space. So we have to download this. So once we download it, it will ask to accept the terms and condition, and then it will ask to log in onto the Oracle portal. So we have to log in with the Oracle ID. So once it is verified, it will start the download. So you can see here it has started the download. So it will take some time to download completely. So I'll just forward that video once it is downloaded. So it is downloaded now. So we need to open the downloaded folder, and we can see here it is in the zip format. So we need to extract it here. Okay, so once we extract this, our downloaded folder will be ready. So after extracting this, our installation folder will be ready. So we'll start extracting here. Okay, so we will either we can change the path, or we can just click on next, and then we will click on extract. It will start extracting here. This is just a normal unzip process, so we all know it. So I will pass this extraction part. Okay, so after extraction, this is the folder that is created. So this folder contains all the installable for the Oracle database. So you can see all the folders, all the folder structure here, all the files are here, and this is the setup.exe that is used to start the Oracle installer. So once we start this, we should run as administrator, so that it will start the installer in admin mode. Okay, so now we are going to start this. So we will run as administrator. We need to give the admin right, and then it will start the Oracle installer. So the installer is starting now. It will take some time. So friends, this is yeah. So this is starting now. So this is the Oracle Universal Installer. Here we can select all the options. So it will step by step install everything. It will also create the database and install the Oracle. Everything it will create here. So this is one dialog box, or it's a one configuration that is for all the installation of Oracle. Okay, so once it will start, we will see. So this is the configuration option. We need to select the first option, and then click on next. Okay, now we have to select here whether we need to install the desktop class or the server class. So desktop class is for the one desktop or one laptop, and this is a server class. Server class is for to installation of the server, installation of server. Yes. Okay, so we are going to select this server class option and then click on next because we want to install Oracle server, Oracle database server. Now this is the installation type. So we want to create the advanced one, and now we have to select which version, whether the enterprise edition or the standard. So we are installing the enterprise edition. Here we will keep default value, that is the use virtual account. So this will just use the Windows authentication, and that is the virtual account. Now here we have to give the Oracle base path. Okay, so here this is the path where actually the Oracle will be installed. All the database files, everything will be installed here. So we are going to select this path. We are going to T drive, and we want to create a new folder here, that is Oracle home. Okay, so in this Oracle home it will be installing everything. Click on next. Then this is the configuration type, so we'll keep it as general, and this is the default database that is being created here, ORCL. Okay, and ORCL PDB is the pluggable database under the ORCL. Okay, so we can change the database name here if you want, otherwise we can keep the same one. So for this demo purpose we will keep the ORCL, we will keep this ORCL, and we'll click on next. Now here also nothing to change, click on next. This is giving the error for the memory, so there is no problem with this. We can just keep on yes and then click next. This is just for the virtual memory setup, so nothing to worry about it. So you can see here we are just installing step by step everything. So we have already given the database name, and so it will, once it will start the installation, it will create those database, and it will also create the container database and the pluggable database. So we'll discuss later what is the pluggable and what is the container database. Okay, so here we just need to click on next, so we'll keep the same path. It will create the registry here, so we can just click on next. Okay, now we can see here, so we have three users here. Okay, so sys system and pdb admin. So sys and system is the system users, and pdb admin is for the pluggable database admin. Okay, so we'll try to give some complex password here for all these three users. So I will try to give the same password for all these three users just for the simplicity for future. So after clicking on next, it should start creating the databases. So it should start the installation. So now you can see it has started the installation process. So we need to wait until this whole process is done. So yeah, so this is the actual log that is going to be installed here. Okay, so we can save this file for future purpose, and then we need to click on install. So finally this has started the installation. This will take some time based on the configurations that we have selected. So I will fast forward this and will come to the end part when it is done. Okay, so it has started the installation. So you can see the installation is in progress. So once this is done, we should be able to go and create a new database user, and with that user we can connect to the database and then write our queries, and we can do some SQL programming, SQL and PL/SQL programming. Okay, so we need to wait until it is done. So it is still in progress. So as we have selected the Oracle database server, so it will definitely take some little more time. It will take some little more time than usual because it is a server that is being installed. So after this is installed, we will once the user and everything will be created, we will connect this database with a Mac machine, and then we will start using uh, that user. We will start using that instance. Now you can see the installation is done, and we have got a path here for the enterprise manager. Okay, so we can just write this URL onto the browser. You can get the enterprise manager. We can close it now, and then we will move next to create a new user. Okay. Okay, so before creating the user, we need to start the SQL developer. So I'm going to the folder where I have downloaded this SQL developer. Okay, and then I need to first send this to the desktop to create a shortcut there. Okay, and then from desktop I will start the SQL developer. So once I log in into the SQL developer, I will create the new user. So first time it will take some time to start. Okay, now it has been started, and what we can do is that we can either create a new connection or use any existing connection here. So first of all, we want to connect the database with the sys user. It's the same sys user that we created during the database creation. Okay, so um, I'm deleting the previous ones here, and then I'll create a new connection. And in this connection, I'm just giving a name here so that I can save this connection for future use. So I will use sys user, and I'll connect this as a sysdba, and then I'll enter the password that I've created during the database creation. Keep everything same here, just change the service name here. So I'll give the pluggable database name, that is the ORCLPDB. It's the same pluggable database that we created during the database creation. So you can see the test is successful, and now we can connect here to the database. So it is now connected with the sys user as a sys DBA. So now I want to create a new user for this pluggable database. Okay, so so this is a new user that we are creating. So user creation is successful. Now we have to give some grant. So we need to give grant for the table space, so that whenever the table will be created in this user, it will take this default table space, and then we will give access for creating the new connections. Now I'm trying to log in with the new user here. So I'm giving again the new name here to save this new connection. Okay, so I'm giving the new username and the password what we have created just now to create the user, and we'll change the service name. We'll give the service name as a pluggable database, that is ORCL PDB. Now click on test. It is successful. Now we can connect. So you can see it is connected now. So what we can do is we can now check what all tables are here, or whatever query we want to run. We can create new tables, we can insert the records, and then we can just play around with the SQL statements. Okay, so we can see here there is no tables here, so I'm just creating a test table here, that is welcome. Okay, so in this table we can have some columns. So I'm giving only one column, that is message, and giving the data type as varchar2. So we'll discuss all this creation syntax and everything in detail in the later videos. As of now, I'm just creating some test table just to check whether everything is running fine. So we have created the table now, and now we are inserting a record here. So I'll just write some message here and insert that into the table. Okay, that record is inserted, so that message is inserted into the table. Now I can check the table. So first I have to commit it, and then I will check the table. So we can see here, once we'll run this query, we will see the message is inserted into the table. So we can see the message that we have just inserted. So yes, so everything is running fine. We have installed Oracle database, and we have also created a new user here. So now in future we will use the same user to connect with the database, and we'll play around our SQLs and the PL SQL. Thank you.